Alrighty, guys, we're back for Mono White Angels, and this is a Foundation Standard Brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, this was a revisit request down in the comments. So thank you so much for the suggestion, it's gonna be a fun one. We got 4 Giada, Font of Hope. It's a 2-mana 2/2 legendary creature, but still have all 4 of them because I do think it's gonna be that important. Each other angel you control enters with an additional +1/+1 counter on it for each angel you already control. That is no joke, dude. Bottom ability, tap it to add a white mana. Spend this mana only to cast an angel spell. Very, very powerful card, huh? Gonna pair beautifully with Exemplar of Light. 4 mana 3/3 with flying. Whenever you gain life, you put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Then also, whenever you put a +1/+1 counter, or I should say one or more +1/+1 counters on this creature, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. We actually have ways in here to activate this on the opponent's turn, like Authority of Consuls, for example. So 1 mana enchantment creatures your opponent's control enter tapped. Cool. Whenever a creature an opponent controls enters, you gain 1 life. Can you imagine having this set up with the Exemplar of Light on the board? The opponent plays a creature, it comes in tapped, you gain a life, and you draw a card off the Exemplar? That's kind of disgusting. So outside of gaining life, yeah, when this enters with the +1 counters from the Giada, you're actually drawing a card off of that anyways, which is actually really neat. But we do have other ways to actually gain life in here. A couple Inspiring Overseers, for example. It's a 3 mana 2/1 with flying, of course. And then when this creature enters, you gain 1 life and you draw a card. Beautiful. We have Resplendent Angel making the cut as a 2 of. It's a 3 mana 3/3. At the beginning of each end step, if you gained 5 or more life this turn, you create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying and vigilance. We'll see how often that actually happens, huh? Also has a bottom ability for 3 and triple white, so 6 total mana. Until end of turn, Resplendent Angel gets +2/+2 and gains a lifelink. Cool. We have other ways to actually give our creatures lifelink too. Lyra Dawnbringer making the cut as a 2 of here on the top end. It's a 5 mana, 5/5, flying, first strike, lifelink. Okay. Other angels you control get +1/+1 and have lifelink. Awesome. We also have Steel Seraph making the cut as a 2 of. Got to do some rearranging because, of course, you're going to be activating the prototype cost on this way more often than just playing it out for 6 mana. But yeah, another way to give our creatures lifelink. And more ways to give our creatures lifelink. We actually have all 4 Sheltered by Ghosts packed in here. And this isn't our only spot removal packed in. We actually have 3 Lay Down Arms as well. With 23 total planes over here, that actually doesn't seem like too much, right? Well, we got a little bit of ramp with Giada, so that'll help at the very least. But also, we have a couple of clay-fired bricks packed in. So when it enters, you search your library for a planes card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. You also gain 2 life. Has that craft with an artifact ability that you're not going to be activating too often in here because there's not too many artifacts packed in outside of the clay-fired bricks and the Steel Seraph. We have other powerful angels packed in, all 4 Youthful Valkyries, 2 mana, 1/3. Whenever another angel you control enters, you put a +1/+1 counter on this creature, which honestly can get out of hand pretty fast. We have some non-angels packed in. We have 3 Hinterland Sanctifiers. They 1 mana, 1/2. Whenever another creature you control enters, you gain 1 life. Okay. That's everything already, guys. We got some honorable mentions over here. Case of the Uneaten Feast does a very similar thing to Hinterland Sanctifier, but we're opting for Sanctifier because it's another creature that we can actually put the Sheltered by Ghosts on, which I do think is going to be pretty important, actually. Get Lost, of course. I guess all the spot removal that I have packed in can be your spot removal of choice. But, you know, Sheltered by Ghosts giving lifelink to our creatures, helping us gain life for cards like Resplendent Angel or Exemplar. I think the Sheltered by Ghosts makes a lot of sense here. The big issue is how often are we going to actually get to keep our creatures around on the board long enough for us to actually target it with the Sheltered by Ghosts, right? So Get Lost, honorable mention for a very good reason. A Dazzling Angel was in the original revisit request suggested deck list, which is a very long name for that. The original suggested deck list, there we go. Just didn't make the cut this time for me. 3 mana is a little bit too expensive. I would prefer just the Hinterland Sanctifier, but I might be wrong. Kept it in the honorable mentions for a good reason. And then this Vindicator is actually a really, really cool angel, and it's been recommended a few times. Just didn't make the cut this time round. Okay, guys, I do my D&Ds to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video, so look forward to that. In the meantime, let's go ahead, take this into some ranked, see how we do. Give me 1 second here, guys. Okay, there we go. Let's see if we can get right into that first game. I totally forgot to change the cosmetics for the deck list, which is essential. How could we possibly play if the cosmetics is not customized? You know what I mean? Guys, what am I expecting from the build? Honestly, I don't know. I'm hoping for a lot, though. I don't know what I'm expecting, but I'm hoping for a lot. Opponent goes first. Okay. Yeah. We keep this. I think, depending on what the opponent's playing, like a turn 1 lay down arms on a Heartfire hero or something isn't terrible. It's a hopeless nightmare, though. What do I discard? A plains? Only 23 plains packed in, guys. It's going to be a plains for now, though, because I like everything else too much. The lay down arms is the next discard if they're going to continue to do that. And depending if they keep this open, Clayfire Bricks is actually a really good draw, because we might play that over the Giada. Okay, they do end up tapping out. The Clayfire Bricks could be the discard. Lay down arms does pick up the Otter. Let's go for the lay down arms, though. I hope that's okay. I'm going to try to establish Giada next turn. And we're hoping for mana off the top here soon, too. Maybe it is Clayfire Bricks. Because Giada might just get popped right away anyways. No, this is fine. Alright, guys. I don't know if I made the correct decisions, but Hopeless Nightmare. Crap, dude. Oh, hey, I forgot to go over Serra Paragon at the beginning. That's okay, though. Serra Paragon is pretty huge here. Once we have the mana established, we can start bringing casting stuff back, like Clayfired Bricks. I'm afraid to ditch the Clayfired Bricks, but we should probably keep the Sheltered by Ghosts. The extra ward 2 on the Giada is no joke. Alright. It's a little bit sketchy because we don't know if we're going to see the third plains off the top, and I sent the third plains earlier, so... But at that point, they do go for the swing for 3. They're tapped out, which is great news. It's the third plains. Awesome. We should go right into the Exemplar, right? And not worry about the Sheltered by Ghosts. Honestly, oh, I didn't mean to put a stop there. Right into Serra Paragon's also pretty darn good, but just getting this down right away, getting some card draw, really, really good. Okay, lay down arms is not terrible, because we're going to need ways to clean up their infinite otters when it comes time. A Fear of Isolation, bounce the Hopeless Nightmare. The discard is going to be not the Serra Paragon. If the discard's the Sheltered by Ghosts, if we get to keep the Serra Paragon around, we can eventually cast it back. Oh no, guys. These have been tough decisions, and the opponent having 3 Hopeless Nightmares and then doing that again. We've had to discard 4 cards. Swing just to get the 2 through. I mean, we are in danger, aren't we? More mana. More mana isn't terrible, is it? We could start with the swing. So we could go lay down arms, get rid of the Fear of Isolation. They go up to 23. Really tough decisions, man. I hope I've been doing all right with what I'm getting rid of, though. And now we try to outpace Serra Paragon. And then Sheltered by Ghost next turn. If Paragon survives, Sheltered by Ghost is going to get us some serious... Yeah, serious life gain. All right, dude, this is going to be insane. So, Sanctifier too, wow. We just put the Sheltered by Ghost on the Serra Paragon, right? And of course, we'll pick up one of the otters. I guess we'll play the Sanctifier, but we might as well go for the swing. Up to 13. Opponent's down to 5. That's right, we're gaining life, so we get the card draw first. We play it all out just in case they see their 4th Hopeless Nightmare. All right. The opponent needs something terrific. It's mana. They go for the Hopeless Nightmare sacrifice. Yeah, I don't know, man. Serra Paragon bringing back the Sheltered by Ghost that we discarded on the Nightmare. That's disgusting on so many levels. And we saw mana right when we needed to see it too. We got lucky because I sent the GG opponent, by the way. Wow. That was a great first game, guys. Sent the planes early, sent the clay-fired bricks early too, so a lot of that could have been very risky. We got lucky that I saw the mana when we needed to see it. Especially getting the extra card draw on the Exemplar too. That was good. I'm very pleased with that. Let's keep the ball rolling. Now, I suppose the opponent could have seen even more, but the triple Hopeless Night, I mean, they still saw a lot. They still saw a lot of goodies, so. Okay. I mean, we keep this, right? This would be a really weird mulligan. This would be a really weird one. Yeah, we keep this. Llanowar Elves. Oh, dear. I suppose we go right into turn 2 Giada. A Bushwhack. They go for a Forest for next turn. They still got 2 open. Huh. Interesting. So another Valkyrie. I guess, yeah, I guess we could go in either order here, but Giada makes more sense, especially if we see a 4-mana Angel. The problem is, I guess we don't know if they're going to go for a fight spell next turn. Oh, Paw Patch Formation. I hope there's not too many of those packed into the opponent's deck list, because that's going to be very efficient removal for mono green to take care of Angels. That's kind of a problem. Oh, Giada actually, even if we didn't see a 4-mana Angel, guys, it still made the most sense because 2 Youthful Valkyries could have potentially happened that turn too. Before the Overseer, or just play Overseer while we have 3 mana? Nah, it's Valkyrie. Because then next turn, double Valkyrie. I'm scared, dude. I'm gonna take the 2. They got 5 mana, dude. It's gonna be a Flourishing Bloomkin for 5 mana. Crap. Okay. That should be scary enough, I suppose. Let's... Okay, Steel Seraph is really good. Let's stick to the plan. Double Youthful Valkyrie. Swing for 3, because I don't plan on blocking, hopefully. Now we just gotta get just an onslaught of Valkyries through. Take the 6. Hope that there's nothing fancy. The opponent has 7 available mana. Ow. I hope the Steel Seraph does the thing and does it very well for us next turn. Llanowar Elves, back up to 10. There's nothing else from the opponent. Huh. 5th mana, man, it's too bad. Yeah, losing Giada early on is actually really brutal. It has set us back just a little bit here, or it's given us some awkward decisions and awkward turns, I suppose. Like Overseer, we could find a 2-mana Angel, but it's probably just Steel Seraph for 3. Overseer could help us find mana for next turn if we find the 6th by the next draw. could get that 5/4 down. But it's probably, we just try this now. And try for the lifelink now too. Because again, we don't really want to block next turn. It's a paw patch formation. No. Okay, okay. Right. So okay. We have 9. They have 8. We need to save emergency blockers, right? Because we don't know what the opponent's playing at all, dude. I have no idea what version of mono green this is. All right, emergency blockers held back, and I hope that's an all right decision because we could full swing and threaten lethal next turn. But right now we have 9 on the board. If we play Overseer, boost the 3 Valkyries, which I don't know if all 3 Valkyries are even going to survive. We'd have 12 on the board. Maybe if we just kept 1 blocker back. See, this is one of those things with the bloom. We should block, right? We don't know if they're rocking boost spells. They could easily be rocking boosts. That's really tough decisions, man. I'm going to go for the chump. It feels bad, but we're at 10. The chump happens, which is great news, I suppose. As now we're going to do our best to actually put the clock on this turn then. Okay, we go back up to 11. It's just more mana though. Oh no. Okay, we have 9 on the board. Trump blocker and the Overseer potentially. We swing for 9, they go down to 4. Or we could just swing for 5 down to 8 and try to win next turn with multiple swings. Keeping an extra blocker back when we don't know what we're up against? I guess. Smuggler's surprise, guys. We're in danger. We're in danger. Yeah, this is what I mean by we have no idea what we're up against. So, what's crazy about this on our turn is the authority. Well, okay, we're back up to 13. Let's see what the opponent has. Full swing. Jump. Block. Oh my goodness, dude. I was terrified of the opponent's deck list because that was the opponent's mono green. You know, they brought something completely original. I haven't seen that one. You guys let me know. Have you seen this version of mono green? Because I feel like they were just bringing their own thing to the table. You know what I mean? A double paw patch formation versus Angels is brutal. It's no different than mono black just seeing a couple go for the throats, you know what I mean? Except for the fact that go for the throat doesn't hit Steel Seraph. Yeah, I'd say we got lucky. Also, keeping some blockers back, of course, really, really helped out. Having a little bit of patience, right? All right, guys, let's keep the ball rolling. In that one, I'd say we were like a little bit out of, what's the word I'm looking for? We were out of pace with the deck list by missing that Giada mana, so. Ooh. Oh, I don't like this at all. We should mulligan. Opponent goes first, though, having an early authority, but look at the hand, guys. If we miss mana, then this is an uh-oh. Yeah, we should mulligan. Wait a minute. Yeah, never mind. Okay, okay, let's see if we can find something better. Huh. That's not better. You guys think we'll see our second mana? If we find our second mana, we'll be fine with some clay-fired bricks. Or at least one of the clay-fired bricks for now. Crap, guys. It got so much worse. Kind of. Exemplar, I suppose we're furthest away from you, but I'm scared to send you. We have a turn 1, and then if we miss our second mana... second mana! Alright, let's go! go, Hinterland Sanctifier. Now, the question is, are we going to have... Oh, we could go Sheltered by Ghosts on the 1/1, but it's probably Clay-Fired Bricks. Grab the mana, in the deck list, find some angels. It's actually just more mana off the top anyways. But that kind of... Yeah, at that point, we want to thin the deck list, and we want to draw angels for the rest of the game, so... Yeah, I guess we also could have swung first, but... So, mono white mid-range is very likely over there, and mono white mid-range is my nemesis. So, we're probably in danger. Especially with how slow we had to go here at the beginning, for sure. Giada's great. And we just want to keep finding creatures now for the rest of the game. But how many of those creatures get to stick around? I don't know. We'll see, man. They find their fourth. A Day of Judgment wouldn't be terrible. It's still a 2-for-1 for them. They'd want to start with the rabbit swing, though. Because they don't know if they'd be able to cheese that through. Overlord. Okay. I mean, the 2/1s block the Giada well. They want to save the board wipes for bigger angels at that point, is the thought process, I'm assuming. More mana. All right, let's continue with the deck thinning. Sheltered by Ghosts on Giada. It kind of helps Giada a little bit. They still got a great block, though, in the air. Getting rid of the Caretaker's talent could be pretty darn good. We should do it. The problem is I'm thinking of the looming threat of board wipes, and we're just making it very tempting for them. Stopping some card draw, though, for the turn, because we know they're going to get more card draw next turn. Even if they miss it in hand, they have level 2 on the talent. Get Lost. Do they go Giada, or do they go Sheltered? Looks like they go Giada. They're going to pay the extra 2. Then they're going to have the planes still open. Caretaker's talent. Activate the ability. Get the token. Draw a card. So, that's a problem. Now, this time, if we pick up talent again, they'll be able to activate level 2 again, which is actually just terrible for us. Oh, dear. Mana. Ah, that's rough, huh? Luckily, the opponent is getting enough. Oh. I'll keep Lyra. It's like, we're definitely too late into this style of game, though. And then I guess we could Sheltered by Ghosts. We could try to take the talent again, but that's probably not going to work out in our favor at all. 2, 3, 4, 5. We actually have 7 mana when it comes time to craft with Artifact. We can craft it with the other Clay-Fired Bricks, right? I'm going to save the second Sheltered by Ghost just in case. I guess you never know. But I'm pretty sure this is going to be the opponent's. But I don't want to concede yet. I also want to see more off the top, too. This is only a 23 mana deck list, guys. So we have 7 mana right now. Underneath that Lyra, probably a good chance of seeing even more angels or something. Oh, crap. Level 3 of Caretaker's Talent. We are down to 3. No, down to 5. I've counted once before, guys, and it was a terrible experience. So I do my best not to count ever again. That's funny, though. Yeah, they had 15 on the board. Overlord's about to flip 2. They know that the Lyra is coming down. I can imagine that this is going to be spot removal, but what's cool about the Lyra is if we actually get the block in, go back up to 10, then we take then we still take 11, so we need the blocker on the ground with the Sanctifier too. But it's probably just spot removal for the Lyra anyways, I would imagine. Oh, we'd go back up to 11 because we gained one on the Sanctifier. It was just more spot removal anyways, but yeah, good game opponent. I guess there was a small chance of survival if we actually were able to block on the ground. I could have mulliganed down to 5 too, guys, but I think we were going to be in danger either way. Two very different versions of mono white, and I can only imagine Angels is not favored at all against mono white mid-range, right? I don't even know what is favored against mono white mid-range. Let me know in the comments, like what's actually good against it. Obviously, some super aggressive decks can get in before they actually get anything established. So I guess that's one thing, but are they favored? Actually, I don't know. I'm not 100% certain. They're not favored when I'm playing. I have no idea how to play against mono white mid-range, dude. That's why it's my nemesis. It's a really tough one to play around for me. Yes. All right. Good hand. Yeah, this is the curve that I imagine. The curve that we want to see all the time with a deck list like this. We'll see if we can establish Steel Seraph, but we might be forced into some removal. But Steel Seraph would also be fantastic. Go lifelink on Valkyrie. Even Vigilance on Valkyrie could be pretty good here if we wanted to try to block. It is really hard to block these style of deck lists, though. Wow, they take the turn for setup, and like risky setup too, because they could have plotted up the Slickshot Show-Off. Now we have an option. To exile the Show-Off right now, which I think we do. I would have loved to do Steel Seraph for the turn, but we're still going to get some life gain here, because I'm going to pick up the Spear. All right, up to 21. Let's see how risky that was. The Ward 2 should be pretty good on the Valkyrie. Screaming Nemesis. That also would have been a great one to pick up with some of our exile spells. Serra Paragon, come on down. Now if they find removal for the Valkyrie or the Sheltered by Ghosts, if it lands in the grave, we'll be able to cast it back with the Serra Paragon. No point in blocking Nemesis when we're gaining that back anyways. Iron Claw, they still got one open, 2 mana in hand. No blocks. It's really, really hard to block this style of deck list. No Monstrous Rage is probably good news. More mana. And we're just one short from the 6 again, but that don't really matter, right? We just play this anyways. Because it boosts the Valkyrie, then we're going to give lifelink to the Serra Paragon as well. Vigilance could also work, but again, we're not really looking to block here. So I think the lifelink will go far enough. As we go back up to 23. It should be very hard for the opponent to deal 23 damage, and we still have an emergency blocker with the Steel Seraph if we want, because we can always recast it off the Serra Paragon if it sticks around. Monstrous Rage before the swing, bringing Nemesis up to a 6/4. So we still have a block into Challenger then. Lightning Helix, the Screaming Nemesis, there we go. Okay, so they're preventing our life gain, but we have 10 in the air for next turn, is the thing. They have 10, Bolt Wave, down to 17, swings for 11. We just take it. Good game, opponent. Yeah, preventing that life gain earlier would have been huge for the opponent. That would have been theirs for sure, I would say. It looks like they were missing a target for their Nemesis. Actually, they didn't want their Nemesis to die maybe, but even so, it would have been worth killing off the Nemesis, right? Yeah, it's possible that they waited for the Monstrous Rage first to boost the toughness so that way the Nemesis survived the turn, but what do you guys think? If they had the Lightning Helix early, would it have been worth it just to kill off the Nemesis to prevent the life gain? Probably. But we were also putting a lot of pressure in the air. Guys, more mana, I'll tell you what, dude. 23 for this, like, even all these angels on the top end and stuff. I can't believe how much mana we're actually still seeing. Guys, we're about 30 minutes into the video already, which is really surprising. While I have you here, make sure you check out that description where we do have that Discord link, as well as that Patreon link too, if you're interested in supporting the channel that way. Also, guys, if you liked the video, make sure you actually drop it a like. And if you enjoy the channel, then consider subscribing. It really does help out the channel. So thank you, guys. All right, opponent goes first. Sure, we keep this. All right, Authority of Consuls. Can't be picked up by cut down, opponent. Isn't that nice? That's pretty nice. Okay, Giada, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Giada. Actually, we could just go Youthful Valkyrie and hope, right? They both get picked up by whatever the opponent's holding open anyways. I'd rather the Youthful Valkyrie get picked up. This is no different than playing around, like if you're up against mono blue, it's no different than playing around a counter spell. It's like, which creature do you want to get countered? And I would have preferred the Valkyrie to die here. So I hope Giada has a chance. I hope we see some mana off the top here too. We don't. We miss. We only have Giada for the turn. What you think, Giada? What you think? Get down. Run. No, Giada. Why? Why, opponent? All right, we're in danger, dude. We got to see some mana. Right after I said 23 mana deck list, right? But I'll tell you what, we really are. We're seeing, like, we are seeing a lot of mana. Clay Fired Bricks works. I can't be mad about that. I can't be. Clay Fired Bricks is like mana 24 and mana 25. So we got two of them in here. that's our 24th and our 25th mana. The thing is, they cost mana to actually get down, so. Probably going to go right into the Inspiring Overseer. Oh, wow. Fourth. Of course, Serra Paragon would be amazing. Establishing Exemplar. Again, we have to anticipate just spot removal in the opponent's hands. They still got 3 cards remaining, guys. 3 cards. That's about 6 pieces of spot removal for Mana Black. let's go Exemplar, because there's a chance that they miss the removal, they play a creature, we gain life off authority, we draw it into our 5th mana, we can go Inspiring Overseer. Nowhere to run. Alright. Alright. We're in danger. We're going to be taking a ton of extra damage here. What, 8 damage total? Down to 15. We do end up finding the mana anyways, even without the extra card draw. So, not bad. Overseer. Exemplar. Beautiful. We go Sheltered by Ghost for the turn because of the ward. I hope that's worthwhile. If they do pay extra ward to get their Bloodletter back, it comes out tapped. Cut down. Oh, they don't gotta pay ward, guys. Nowhere to run. That's pretty good, man. 3 cut downs and nowhere to run. They swing with the Foundry. And nowhere to run. Really coming in handy there. Wow. 6th mana. Really coming in handy here. Yeah, if we're slowing down the swing for the Bloodletter, Serra Paragon doesn't get hit by cut down. Doesn't get hit by nowhere to run. Yeah, Serra Paragon. This is a huge card for us, man. If it's instant speed spot removal on the stack, though, I guess it doesn't really matter. If it's go for the throw, it is what it is, you know? But we really do want to slow down the Bloodletter. If it is instant speed spot removal on the stack, then recasting something like Giada could be a little bit better here. But guys, 3 cut down and a nowhere to run, that's already 4 pieces of spot removal. We try it. We risk it. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Mono black. Why? Why? Okay, they got 8 on the board. Deep Cavern Bat. Oh no. That's bad news. They take Exemplar, right? Because Resplendent Angel isn't doing anything here. They got 1 card remaining in hand. At the very least, there's a chance that Resplendent Angel actually sticks around. And if we can actually survive the swing after the fact, we do have 6 mana on the board for Resplendent Angel's bottom ability. Lyra's also really good. What a draw, dude. We should just play it. First strike, like that is so essential. First strike, it's a 5/5. It doesn't get hit by nowhere to run. Yeah, we play this instead. It would be really cool to set up the Resplendent Angel. But the fact that just what we've seen from the opponent so far, first strike, lifelink, everything about that, just so good. What a top deck. Wow. We stopped the opponent's turn. Holy cow. Mana's pretty bad. But at the beginning of each end step, if you gain 5 or more life, we should probably swing with the Lyra to get an extra 4/4 in the sky. Oh wow, Anoint with Affliction. Huh. It was more spot removal, guys. I don't think we have a swing here, right? Up to 11. They have 8 on the board, 10 with the Deep Cavern Bat. What if they find something off top? We don't have a swing. All right. Let's hope they miss spot removal for the rest of the game. Oh, Foundry. Authority of Consuls. Okay, I mean, it's something, but I still... Yeah, we definitely don't have the swing now that they saw the second Foundry. Because that could boost the other Foundry to a 4/4, and then that doubles to 8 damage from the Bloodletter. It's a top deck war, and I think we might be losing this top deck war. These are pretty bad draws. Lyra was a really good draw, but... yeah, any extra creatures from the opponent, though, gaining us 2 life is pretty good. Okay, Valkyrie, there we go. Yeah, we need extra angels because we need to start swinging with these extra angels. Wow, Anoint with Affliction. Holy cow, dude. All right. All right. They're just looking for a bigger piece of spot removal for Lyra. There we go. All right, Exemplar's so good. Yeah, now we're seeing Angel after Angel. That's a 4/4. That should be pretty hard for them to remove unless they see another one of their 17 go for the throat. No, hopefully they're running out of spot removal for real. At this point, if we get to keep Exemplar around, we do potentially have a swing. However, guys, I'm going to pretend that we don't get to keep the Exemplar around. Wait. Never mind. I'm going for it. Now's the time. I mean, they've played so much spot removal already, guys. All right. Gain life. Get a counter. Get some card draw. More angels. It's mana. All right. Bring it on, opponent. Bring it on. They didn't remove Exemplar, so they might have missed. Unstoppable Slasher is pretty scary. We're going up to 13 here, though. Oh, beautiful stuff. We actually get some card draw on their turn, too. Boosting the Exemplar is huge. Deep Cavern Bat, they take our Exemplar. Aww. But our other Exemplar on the board getting all these boosts from the Authority. We're going to have a huge, huge swing. We're going to be forcing blocks if we see a creature. GG opponent. There we go, guys. There we go. Wait, why would we have been forcing blocks if we saw a creature? Oh, accidentally ranking up. That's what you like to see. Guys, 80% win rate. It's kind of no joke. Not half bad. This was a lot. this was a lot. This was worthwhile. or this was worthy of complaint. So much spot removal. Then they, honestly, they missed some of their go for the throats too. I would have not been surprised at all if they had a couple go for the throats that game too, on top of all this, right? Yeah. Lyra was just a terrific draw. Then we had some bad draws, but then Exemplar actually stuck around and really, really did the thing there. Yeah, we only had 14 on the board. So we weren't forcing blocks if we saw a creature, only if we saw a creature that actually gained us some life for the Exemplar, which I guess those exist in here, so. Actually, no, wait, hold on. We were forcing blocks because first strike on the Lyra would have gained life first, then the Exemplar would have went to 10, right? So we actually did have 15 on the board, forcing a block somewhere. Then we would have gained a whole bunch of life too. Valkyrie's Call. Hey, speaking of angels, 5-mana enchantment. Whenever a non-token, non-angel creature you control dies, return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control with a +1/+1 counter on it. It has flying and is an angel in addition to its other types. Cool, that's my third one. I don't know, maybe we'll play with that at some point. I'm still learning all the foundations cards, which is silly, man. There were just so many foundations cards. Okay. Here's the deck list again. This was fun, man. It felt pretty good too. Some games it kind of felt a little awkward, but can't complain too much, man. 80% win rate's no joke. If we played another 5 games, I can only imagine that win rate would start dropping. And maybe it would balance itself around to 60%, which would still be pretty darn good. I can imagine it would balance itself less than a 60% though. But that being said, I don't know. I really don't. It felt decent. What about the do not craft list? Yeah, probably put it on the do not craft list, but I think you can reasonably put this on the list where you can craft less based on your collection, because there's actually a lot of just really cool angels to try out, and there's some budget trade out angels that you can try out too. The reason, by the way, even though it performed so well, the reason we put it on the do not craft list is because it's pretty expensive. Yeah, real quick, if we well, I guess we're taking a look at the angels first here. Giada's rare, right? And I'm using an old version of Giada. Giada got reprinted in Foundations. I believe the reprint is also rare. I guess we can double check that, maybe, if I remember how to double check that. Anyways, Resplendent Angel is actually mythic. Serra Paragon is mythic. Exemplar is rare from Foundations. And then we have Lyra, which is mythic from Foundations. And Steel Seraph is rare too. Authority of Consuls is also rare. And then the Sanctifier's common. Lay Down Arms is uncommon. Uncommon for Sheltered by Ghosts. And uncommon for Clay-Fired Bricks. So at least there's some budget cards packed in, and the mana base is relatively budget too, just 23 planes. We're not doing anything fancy with the mana base, just all planes, since especially since one of our main removal spells is actually Lay Down Arms for this deck list. Anyways, some of those budget angels, right? Actually, one of them made the honorable mentions. Dazzling Angel, just a common, so, and that fits with the life gain theme very nicely. Holy Cow is actually a really cool budget angel. Flash flying. When it enters, you gain 2 life, scry 1. It's kind of neat, right? So that's also just a common. So there could be some really good trade-ins or trade-outs based on your collection. Maybe you had a couple of these Vindicators sitting around. Well, there you go. If you don't have any Serra Paragons and you had a couple of Vindicators, that's a good trade-out, probably, right? Serra Paragon, though, was really, really good today. I'm actually considering more of these. And what I would drop is actually one of the Resplendent Angels. I didn't want to play with just one Resplendent Angel. If I'm remembering correctly, the revisit request or the suggested deck list had Resplendent Angel. And I think it might have actually had 4 Resplendent Angels, right? So I already dropped a couple of them. The problem is, well, one thing too, if you're ramping past your 3 mana cards, it is pretty decent to have more 4 mana cards. So if you do get to keep Giada around on turn 2, then having more 4 mana cards to actually land, like more to actually get into your hand. So turn 3 Serra Paragon, for example, it's kind of no joke, because by the time they find removal for Giada, then you could potentially just recast it with the Serra Paragon anyways. So I am considering 3 of these, but guys, the deck list performed really well. I'm not changing anything. What else, guys? If we're looking at the angels up here, again, craft a bit less based on your collection. There's a lot to choose from. Maybe you don't have the Resplendent Angel. I personally, I wouldn't craft it. It's a mythic, right? And it's not 100% necessary, even though we have the life gain theme packed in. It's the life gain theme is really only in here for the Exemplar of Light. So I wouldn't craft Resplendent Angel. Maybe you had a couple of these investigators sitting around. It's a 3-mana 2/4 flying vigilance, and at the beginning of your upkeep, investigate once for each opponent who has more cards in hand than you, which might be very often. Speaking of those mono white mid-range matches, they're always going to have more cards than you because they have Caretaker's Talent, and they see that every game. It's very, very rare that they miss the Caretaker's Talent, and honestly, sometimes they get a couple of them. Their hand is always just packed full of cards. Extra clues could be really cool because clay-fired bricks could eventually craft with an artifact. 7 mana. Funny enough, we did have some games where we had 7 mana, but it's not going to be very often that you craft this. And I liked clay-fired bricks being in here as I made the joke, plains number 24, plains number 25. It kind of worked because 23 plains even felt like too much sometimes in those games. It's not usually going to feel like too much, though. Don't get me wrong. When you're looking at the deck list, you're kind of thinking this should probably be a 24 mana deck list. But no, I do like that just double clay fired bricks kind of being the substitution for flooding too often in games. You know what I mean? So yeah, you guys get the point of what I mean by craft less based on your collection. There are some cards, like if you really, really want to play angels and like no matter what, you're going to play some angels, dude. Lyra would probably be a worthwhile craft, at the very least one on the top end. It's going to die to a lot, but you just got done saying that you're going to play angels no matter what, dude. So, and then that's the same concept with Giada. Oh, that's right. Giada, can I check the not collected? Let's see. The Foundations version is right here, rare. Yeah, Foundations version is rare. Always keep an eye on your collection, because if you were going to be crafting Giada and you don't have any of them already, then you probably want to craft the newest version, right? But at that point, I guess it's entirely up to you too. But yeah, it's another reason to always keep an eye on your collection. Of course, I had all 4 Giadas from the first set that it came out in, and I'm not wasting rare wild cards by any means. What else here, guys? What else? Another thing too, if like again, you're gonna play angels no matter what. I guess like if you didn't have any Giadas, you could just play the 3. It's legendary. Sometimes the legendary is going to get in the way. More often than not, the opponent's just going to kill Giada anyways, and you're going to be more than happy to have the second or third one ready in hand to play out. But that's one thing too. Keeping an eye on your collection, you only had 1 Giada. You don't need to craft 3 more. You could probably just craft a couple more and be pretty happy about it. And they go up some of your other angels too. So yeah, guys, what do we think? I had fun. I know that much. What does your angel deck list look like? Let me know down in the comments. As far as revisit requests go, this was probably a request, multiple total requests over time, because angels was actually one of the first things we visited when Foundations came out. So it's probably multiple people requesting this. I just don't remember right now, honestly. So it took some time. We finally got there. We got the revisit. And I'm very, very happy and satisfied with it. Guys, thanks so much for being here. If you made it this far into the video, for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.